Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Beyond Science 2. I'm Mike Chen.
It's Dan Chen.
We all love to travel, but every time we go to a new place, different location, visit different cultures, we got to be mindful of how they respond to maybe the things some things we might be used to, or
Definitely.
we might not think is a big deal.
Definitely.
Because there's certain things we do that we might do on a daily basis that other people might construe as rude.
Yeah.
Or, they might just
Offensive.
beat you because you did it.
Yeah, really offensive, really rude. And I feel like a lot of these gestures, Americans have to be careful. Because I'm looking through some of these and here, they don't really mean much. Right? But then I'm like, whoa, and seriously, like some of these gestures, like they could really get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Arrested, worse, pick a fight with people, get, beat up.
So this one is called the motsa.
Oh, the mutsa. Yeah.
In Greece, Mexico, Middle East, and Africa.
Yeah.
So if you do this to someone right in front of their face,
Yeah.
that's offensive.
It's really bad, and it actually goes way back to ancient Byzantine Empire, where they're saying that, criminals, they were dragged through the streets by donkeys, and during those times, there was trash and poo on the streets, and to humiliate them even more, they would take the feces and do this to their face. So this is the modern equivalent of that.
But what scenario are you going up to someone? You're like, hey, Bob.
That's what I'm thinking, because
Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand.
that's what we like for us. What that means is
Stop.
Stop,
Yeah.
or do not talk to me. Like get away from me. This is like an insult. Like this is not an insult to me. This is like yo, get that away from me.
It's like, hey man, I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Make sure you spread your fingers.
Or like it's a defiance act sometimes. Like, cause I saw a photo of some guy just walking and holding his hand up. So anyway, sorry guys.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
In those areas around the world.
Right.
All right. So the next one, you might get this completely opposite.
Okay.
Because if you go to places like Greece and Bulgaria, if you shake your head, it means yes.
You're right.
And if you nod your head, it means no.
So no.
Wow, that's confusing.
Yes.
That's literally like the whole driving thing. If you go to like the UK, you drive on the other side of the road. I won't be able to wrap my head around that.
I wouldn't even be able to do it. Like if they're like, would you like ketchup with those fries?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd be like, yes. Like I'd have to say it. Otherwise, it would take me like an hour.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah. They'd be like,
no.
So no.
So no.
Like,
and you're like, no.
No, yeah. They're like, and they're confused and we're confused and they're getting mad and we get spit in our food or something.
Oh my gosh.
Next, when we go to football games or sporting events, we see this a lot.
All
this
the time.
This simple, right?
Yeah. It's a specific team in America.
It's the Longhorns.
Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
You also see that if you go to a rock concert. And you see it's like the headbanging thing, like with your okay. Sorry, we're not Longhorn fans and we're not headbangers, so we're but you see this.
Yeah.
But this actually means something.
Exactly. When you're in Spain, Greece, again, don't go to Greece. In Italy, this is called a corna. And it's a suggestive gesture made it to a man to imply that his wife is cheating on him.
Exactly, because it does signify the bull.
Yeah.
It dates back 2,500 years. If somebody does that to you, it's kind of like in China, we talked about if you wore a green hat, that means that your wife is cheating on you.
Yeah.
So same thing. It's like, yo man, your wife. Again, how do you do these in context? Like, how do you do them?
I mean, you're like,
yo man.
Hey Bob.
And then Bob's like, oh no.
I mean, wouldn't it be easier to just be like, Bob, let's have a talk?
Yeah.
Because when you do this, Bob's probably like, yo, explain what happened here.
You know what I think it is? I think these are pretty mean gestures. So I imagine like somebody walking down the street in this small, think about it. If you're in a small town in Greece, okay, everybody knows your business.
Yeah.
And maybe like you walk down and everybody knows it and they're just kind of giving you the sign. I don't know. I'm just imagining. How are people, because I doubt people are using a gesture instead of just saying it, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Next one is kind of crazy. So the thumbs up does not mean the thumbs up.
No.
Everywhere.
Which is crazy,
Look,
guys.
we give the thumbs up all the time in America.
It is like one of the most like widely used gestures in America.
It's like, how you doing?
Good.
How was your day? How you feeling?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yeah. Thumbs up. I mean, it's such a ubiquitous sign that American social media has it Like Facebook had it for the longest time.
Yo, I thumbs up everybody on Facebook.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah.
I mean, recently they changed it to like other emoticons, right? But before it was like thumbs up.
But apparently in Australia, do not do this.
Right.
Because it means something really bad.
So let me ask you, Facebook in Australia, I bet there's no thumbs up icon there.
There must be no thumbs up.
So what's, yo, tell us, if you're from Australia, tell us what Facebook is like. Maybe it just has a like button, like you just click it, it says like.
Well, what do Australians do with their hands to say it's okay? Like the okay sign?
Oh, yo, the okay sign I think means something bad other places.
Yeah, so
it does, it really does.
All right, but in Australia that might be okay.
Yeah.
But don't do this in Australia,
Right.
okay? So we don't want to explain too much, but that's not good.
Okay, so in the Philippines, this is so bad, the come over sign, and it's not this, it's actually this, because that's what they use to call dogs over.
Wow.
So if you do that to somebody, can you imagine?
Look, not a lot of people, I feel like, do this. They might be like, come here.
They'll never.
Because this is something you see like parents do to kids they're mad at.
All the time.
Yeah.
Come here, little Timmy. You never do it. I mean, like, you wouldn't do that to an adult. You just wouldn't. But unless they also mean this too.
Right.
Maybe. I would not do this anyways, because what if like your finger kind of messed up and you just did this? Like, you're like, I'm just saying, do not do that. Don't even do that.
What do we do now? We're like, if someone's far, we're like, hey, like the arm thing. Okay, that's better. That's
come
better.
on
So
over.
we're not even getting close to that finger.
Oh, jeez.
So don't do that in the Philippines. You might end up in jail, and then that would suck.
Yeah.
Next, in Finland,
Okay.
I do this all the time.
Okay.
I do this all the time where I just cross my arms.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm talking to these people, I'm just crossing my arms.
Look, even in the US, like people analyze body language a lot. All this means is like maybe they're nervous, maybe they're closed off. It doesn't really
Maybe I'm cold.
Maybe
I'm
you're
not
cold.
I'm like,
maybe it's comfortable. Honestly, this is pretty comfortable.
yeah, but in Finland, if you stand like this, it means that you want to get in a fight.
Yeah. So in America, you go like this, put them up.
Because it's a huge sign of arrogance.
Right.
You're like, arrogance.
Right. I guess in Finland, it's like, oh, you want to go? So two guys in a bar, they're like, you want to go? Let's do it,
But then how do they go? Their arms are tied up.
Exactly.
Okay, well, if you go to Russia and you want to shake hands, never do it over a threshold.
So like a threshold? You mean like if there's like tape somewhere? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like between doors.
Oh,
like
okay.
something like that, right?
Okay.
So never do it like where you're like, hey,
Right.
hey John, nice to meet you. Open the door. No, don't do that.
No.
Because that's considered extremely unlucky.
Okay.
The next one I really like because I like the Hunger Games.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember this.
What does she do? She does the whole. What does she do?
What is it?
She does that. The
Is it
three
that
finger
one?
salute. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
That's
that
right.
called? The resistance. They're like.
Yeah.
I think it's called something. I forgot what it
I
was.
don't remember.
Like she's like.
Yeah. She's.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And
then they all do it.
everyone else is like.
Yeah.
And then they get beat up because the soldiers are like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
But apparently, if
Sign
you
of
go to
defiance.
Thailand, that kind of means the same thing.
No, it literally is the same
Yeah.
thing. It is.
If you do it like that in Thailand,
Yeah.
it's actually outlawed to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a symbol of opposition to the country's military
Right.
coup in 2012.
Yeah, after the movie came out.
Oh my god.
So they so it was actually adopted to mean that.
Oh, did it? Which is sad because I actually really like that salute for the
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
I think it's really creative that they like adopted it because basically students went to see the movie, and Thailand is a very militaristic country, and they were like, hey, if they did that in the movie, let's do it. Can't do it.
You can't.
You got thrown in prison. So if you were in a country like Sri Lanka or a Southeast Asian country where Buddhism is of the predominant religion, maybe like Thailand or somewhere, you shouldn't pat kids on the head, or you don't pat adults on the head. But in America, we always do that. Like, come here, like, good job. But you don't do that there because like if you practice Buddhism, like the head, it's very symbolic of like attaining like like the highest level of spiritual enlightenment, and it's just a very sacred area for monks. So you just don't touch people, like don't go around patting kids there on the head.
Right.
If it like I could see that happen. You're like, oh, that's a cute little kid, come here, and then you do it, and the whole family's like,
Can you pet dogs on the head though?
I
think that's right. Okay.
I think that's okay. All right, and of course. The okay sign in America is literally kind of like the thumbs up.
Yeah.
okay, give an okay. And in most parts of the world, the okay sign is recognized as the okay sign.
Yeah.
Except for a few places. In France, it doesn't mean okay, it means zero, but also it could mean that you're worthless. So it could be offensive. All right, so you're basically like, you're like a zero, you're worthless. They never think it's like okay, this isn't like okay. Also in Brazil, and in Italy, it's the same as this. They're saying
Get lost.
So get lost.
Yeah.
Like, get lost. But how does this like get lost? Like this just doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah, you gotta do it with some gusto. Like, hey.
Yeah, like when did that come about? Because and I guess in Japan it stands for money, but that's not really like offensive.
Right. You gotta be especially careful about this. Let's say we eventually discovered there are alien civilizations out there.
I mean, you
can't go up and be like, hey, I just watched the episode of Star Trek last night where they had to go up to the people and go like this.
Right, because that means what?
I don't know. That's just their greeting. For the aliens, maybe it means like I got no weapons or something.
But what if the aliens are like?
Or it means like I'm a mine.
Yeah, and the aliens are like, that's the most offensive gesture in our language, and then they shoot you down.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you gotta study up. You gotta study up before everywhere you go. You gotta do a little research. That's all I'm saying.
Right. There's also other gestures that are really common that we're not gonna show you.
We're not gonna talk to you guys because it's like asking us, like, can you teach me how to curse? And like, we're not gonna teach you how to curse, so we're not gonna show those because that's not what our show is about.
Right.
So we're gonna skip those over. But those what we presented to you guys are some things to be careful of.
Right.
If you're traveling around the world, maybe memorize them, write them down, so you don't do something that might offend someone.
Educate yourselves.
Exactly. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.
Later.